The honourable member for Souris Moose Mountain.
Madam Speaker, and all my questions will be for the Minister of Mental Health and Addictions. Madam Speaker, why did the Minister tell law enforcement that they are expected to, quote, do their job when the NDP Liberals took away their ability to keep our communities safe from people using hard drugs in public?
The honourable minister.
The member well knows that law enforcement falls under provincial jurisdiction. They also have the purview to enforce bylaws and best practices for law enforcement to keep communities safe.
The honourable member for Souris Moose Mountain.
The Deputy Chief of Vancouver Police stated on April 15th that their members required, quote, tools so that they would be able to do their jobs when there are community concerns about problematic drug use. Madam Speaker, what resources did the Minister give the law enforcement before deciding to legalize the use of hard drugs?
The honourable minister.
Madam Speaker, this is why we made amendments to the BC exemption recently, and with the understanding that law enforcement would be given clear direction on how to address public use.
The honourable member for Souris Moose Mountain.
The answer is none. Did the Minister provide funding?
The honourable minister.
Law enforcement is under the jurisdiction of the province.
Member.
Why did the Minister not provide funding?
The honourable minister.
Law enforcement is under the jurisdiction of the province.
The honourable member.
Did the Minister provide any training?
Honourable minister.
Law enforcement is a provincial matter.
Honourable member.
Did the Minister give them anything whatsoever to help them keep Canadians safe?
The honourable minister.
Law enforcement is provincial jurisdiction.
Honourable member.
Madam Speaker, why does this NDP Liberal coalition government value the lives and rights of people who use hard drugs in public over the safety and rights of law-abiding citizens?
The honourable minister.
Why do the Conservatives pit harm reduction against treatment and instead not to choose a comprehensive and evidence-based, compassionate approach to address the overdose crisis and to help those who need help?
Honourable member.
Another non-answer. If the Minister was at a beach with her family and someone lit up a crack pipe beside them, that would be totally fine since that is their right. Is that correct?
The honourable minister.
The amendment entailed directing for public health and public safety in terms of public spaces.
Honourable member.
What about injecting heroin with your children at the playground?
The honourable minister.
Again, the exemption allowed for releasing decriminalization in public spaces.
Honourable member.
Is it acceptable for youth to be directly exposed to people getting high on hard drugs?
Mind the member, he's to address questions and comments through the chair, not directly to the minister. The honourable minister.
Madam Chair, we want to protect our youth.
The honourable member.
Madam Speaker, does the Minister believe that recovery from addiction is always possible?
The honourable member.
It may take many pathways to get to recovery, Madam Chair. That's why comprehensive approaches.
The honourable member.
Is the Minister satisfied with the current availability of drug rehabilitation and/or treatment programs?
The honourable minister.
Those would be health services, Madam Chair, which fall under the jurisdiction of provincial health services. We will always support them.
The honourable member has 1 minute.
The NDP Liberal government has spent over $100 million to date on so-called safe supply. How much are you spending on beds in recovery centres?
The honourable members to address. The honourable minister.
Over $200 billion in healthcare agreements include mental health and substance use supports. Madam Chair, I would ask him to ask each jurisdiction how much they're spending.
Member.
Again, Madam Speaker, how many beds would $100 million have bought?
The honourable member. Minister.
That would be the purview of health services of the province, Madam Chair. I encourage him to ask his local jurisdiction.
Honourable member. 16 seconds.
Madam Speaker, has the Minister heard the statement from the RCMP that nearly 2/3 of their detachments serve communities that do not have drug rehabilitation or treatment programs available?
Honourable minister.
Mental health services are part of the $200 billion in bilateral agreements, Madam Chair, and over 30% of those agreements are dedicated to mental health and substance use.